It's an honor to welcome each of you here today as we activate the 582nd Helicopter Group in the 582nd Operation Support Squadron under 20th Air Force. It's only been 1 year since the commander of Air Force Global Strike Command and I approved the Force Improvement Program recommendation to establish the helicopter organization we're formally activating today. To progress this quickly from concept to reality for a major organizational change in the Air Force is remarkable and directly reflects the leadership of the Secretary of the Air Force and the Chief of Staff of the Air Force. We also wouldn't be activating this new group and squadron today without the visionary airmen who, through the Force Improvement Program, recognized the need for change and proposed the solution. Their grassroots initiatives across 20th Air Force are transforming our mission. Activating the 582nd Helicopter Group is absolutely essential to continuing the President's direction of a safe, secure, and effective nuclear force. At the operational and tactical levels where we employ weapon systems, commanders need to be tactically experienced and credible. Until now, we've had the necessary tactical expertise through our helicopter squadron commanders, but we've unfairly asked our ICBM Operations Group commanders to provide operational level command and control over helicopter forces. This reorganization will also enable us to grow ICBM-savvy aviation leaders. The Helicopter Group and Operation Support Squadron provide additional positions in which our young aviators can move for their professional development. From a force development perspective, our ICBM aviators now know they can aspire to be a full colonel group commander in our mission. By providing them with a viable career path, these officers don't need to cross-train into other platforms to progress through the ranks. We can now provide the opportunity and the resources to groom these airmen to achieve their potential. Colonel Dave Smith is my choice to serve as the first commander of the 582nd Helicopter Group. He's a prime example of an airman achieving his potential and is hands down the right senior officer at the right place and at the right time. He has led this group since we established it as a provisional command last August, focusing on hiring the initial cadre and securing the budget, facilities, and other resources that led to this activation. Even though there's a rugged beauty to the Huey, it's great to see one from each wing here for today's ceremony. They aren't suited for our mission requirements. I'm pleased that the President's fiscal year 2016 budget includes funds to replace the UH-1, and we've identified a variant to meet our requirements for endurance, speed, and payload, and a message that we made very clear this week when we were on Capitol Hill.
The 582nd Helicopter Group is activated effective 27 March 2015 by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Colonel Smith is appointed commander of the 582nd Helicopter Group, effective 27 March 2015. Signed, Major General Weinstein, United States Air Force, Commander, 20th Air Force and Task Force 214, Francis E. Warren Air Force Base, Wyoming.
I see the group being defined by three essential qualities: discipline, stewardship, and collaboration. Leadership, like flying, is an art, not a science. It cannot be taught or perfected with book knowledge. It must be practiced and constantly nurtured with coaching and mentoring. There's an old saying in the helicopter community: learn from others' mistakes, because the odds are you're not going to live long enough to make all of them yourself. As we all know, risk is an inherent part of aviation, but we must not use the inherent danger of aviation or the fact that we have been charged with a combat mission as excuses to accept risk unnecessarily. We must always remember that safety is a combat skill. Every crew and aircraft lost in a mishap is one less resource that can be brought to bear against our enemies.
Lieutenant Colonel Blanchard is appointed commander of the 582nd Operation Support Squadron effective 27 March 2015, signed Colonel Smith, United States Air Force, Commander, 582nd Helicopter Group, Francis E. Warren Air Force Base, Wyoming. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 582nd Operation Support Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel James Blanchard.
You have to put yourself in the opportunity to succeed, an opportunity to excel. If you stay in your comfort zone, you'll always remain in your comfort zone and wonder why you never achieved your goals. You have to take risks and be willing to fail, put yourself out there, so that your leaders can see that when the opportunity arises, you'll be the right guy for the job. Second, you have to put passion into everything you do. We know in the Air Force you don't always get to choose your location and choose your jobs. But you have to put your heart and soul into each and every task that is given to you. The taxpayers expect it, our nation demands it, and frankly it will give and build the trust from your chain of command in you. And you have to build that trust from your chain of command that you'll get the job done, that you will always have their best interests in mind, and that you'll always put the Air Force in the best light possible. And finally, I think you have to create some sort of balance in your life. And I know my wife doesn't always think I have balance in my life, but you have to find a way to balance the needs of the Air Force, your personal goals, and of course your family. And if you don't match all three of those things, it will never work. So like any patch, though, in the Air Force, it has symbology, and ours is no different. So in ancient mythology, the image of the two dueling cobras represented guardians of the underworld. And we believe ourselves as part of this security apparatus to protect the ICBMs and missileers that live and work underground. Additionally, the shapes of the snakes form a 5 and a 2 to represent the 582nd. To me, though, the two snakes, different in size but equally deadly, represent two brothers. So this could represent the big brother OSS and the little brother detachments, or of course the brothers in arms that we work with and fight with every day.